If you love what we do, then please consider supporting Kritfayle on Patreon. Your support helps us grow and to create more content more often. And now, on with the show.
Hi, let's go now.
Okay.
I don't know. No time. They know that someone is there, so let's go.
Oh, alright. Terrence kind of looks around briefly before he starts jogging.
Guessing
and yes, he's still carrying Cipher.
He didn't abandon her in the tunnel. If he's jogging, I'll say Wren can probably keep up. Probably.
Oh, probably. He's not incredibly fast, and he's very noisy about it.
Let's get to the car. Is Cipher conscious or no?
I don't think so, considering all the weird faces that Adam's making and not speaking.
Oh, that's how you can tell.
I mean, it's been like 4 weeks. I'd have no idea if she was conscious or not.
She's been unconscious for like 4 weeks. It's no big deal.
Can anyone remember if she was conscious or not?
She was pretty out of it, but she was awake.
She's just sort of
I just wasn't sure if, since you weren't talking, if she'd passed out since.
No, I'm just trying to picture Terrence running with
with Cipher?
Girl straddled over his back. It's a very awkward looking run in my eyes.
Right. And if nothing gets in the way, we'll get to the car, I guess.
Yes, stressfully, it seems.
Terrence will unlock the car and open the trunk so he can... He's tempted to put Cipher in there for a moment. But he's gonna put the backpack that he picked up in there. He had it... Whoops. Oh, jeez. He had it strapped, like, to his front rather than on his back, because that's where Cipher is. And, yeah, he'll put the bag in the trunk and then leave it open so that Wren could put whatever she wants in there. And he's gonna try and, as gracefully as possible, get Cipher into the back seat. Which is gonna involve him, like, kind of reaching over his shoulder and trying to drag her around him because she's out of it. And he's just like, okay, kid, quit being a monkey and get in the back seat.
Well, Wren will drop the 2 backpacks I guess she's got in the trunk, close it, and get into the back seat as well, so she can help maneuver Cipher into place and put a seatbelt on her or whatever.
Okay. And Terrence will get in the car and drive back to Cornerstones.
Good. I hope.
So did you get everything you needed in there?
I mean, I got the bio sample. That was the only thing we still needed as far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Weird place, don't like it.
No. Almost getting shot in the face by a gun as big as my torso wasn't the highlight of my day.
No. I mean, the biosample being in a room that had, like, an operating table in the center of it was not ideal either.
I mean, weren't there a lot of rooms that were kind of like that, though?
This one was a bit different. There were also some little rooms off of it with frosted glass doors that I could only kind of see shadows behind. That may have been people, I'm not sure. I didn't have time. I mean, honestly...
What does Az technology usually get up to?
Nothing good.
All right.
Cipher curls up on the back seat. You can hear her sort of sobbing away to herself.
Oh.
As you guys are
Wren's in
talking.
the back seat. Well, Wren's in the back seat too. So if Cipher's sobbing, she'll, I don't know, like pet her hair or something. Like try and do
What
something.
the heck
slight-
happened?
there.
Terrence is like incredibly worried because she seemed like extremely tired and worn out and probably hurt before, but not distressed.
Yeah, not traumatized. Like. Cipher, we're going back to Cornerstones. Do you need anything? I don't know.
She doesn't really respond. She's just sort of like just staring blankly at the back of the seat behind Terrence.
Oh dear. Terry, she's gone a bit non-responsive.
And she wipes some tears away from her eyes. She's feeling the right side of her head.
Hey, girlie, did you just realize you were bleeding?
She stops and she looks at her hand.
Oh my god.
That's okay. We're gonna go back to Cornerstones and we can get you patched up.
Now, do you need a doctor or a mechanic?
Let's go, doctor.
Cipher looks really concerned.
you need a doctor, don't worry.
What appears to be the problem?
Well, she's got like a bunch of mechanical crap in her head.
Technological, not mechanical.
He's getting offended now. I'm glad to hear you responding like this, but seriously, you're half a step away from being a cyborg.
She's looking down at her hand that's covered in blood.
Hey, there was not that much blood. I specifically was, when she first started bleeding, was like, I will use my sleeve or whatever to stop the bleeding, and I was told,
did you?
There's hardly any blood.
See, this is what happens.
I know there wasn't that much blood because I was super concerned about it, and then I was told, it's not that bad.
So she's staring
her
at
hand
a
is
little bit
not
of blood.
covered in blood.
She's staring at the little bit of blood on her fingers. There's, some still a little bit seeping out. And maybe a couple of pieces of cracked, dried blood.
It's not that bad. There's not too much blood.
Maybe there should have been more blood.
It's too late to retroactively add more blood now.
Well, she
Cipher
could have
looks-
been in shock.
Can I spend a weight for more blood? No.
Cypher looks at her hand, feels like there should be more blood, and claws at the wound to rectify that.
Claws at the...
I'm not getting enough sympathy. Cipher starts banging her head on the window.
They don't seem that worried.
I just feel like the amount of damage I've got recorded on my character sheet, there should be more blood. Maybe it's just
I
more
was specifically told there wasn't that much blood.
Oh,
which
maybe
is
it's
why
like
I
meningitis.
stopped putting pressure on it because meningitis.
What?
I don't know if that
What
is
does
quite.
meningitis have to do with anything?
Inner damage, inside damage.
That's not what meningitis is, though.
Uploads meningitis.
If you hack into them, you get meningitis. Are you trying to say like a subdural hematoma or something? Like, what do you mean?
Or a hemorrhage?
Yes. Hemorrhoid. What?
No.
Hemorrhage.
That would be really awkward.
Adam.
tried to hack into this thing the other day. Gave me hemorrhoids. What? How the heck do you jack in? How do you normally jack in? Well, there's only a certain amount of holes in the body.
Hemorrhage. The opposite of in is out. Yes?
Okay.
It's your fault. You were gone for 3 weeks.
Welcome back, Becca.
Yeah. Welcome back.
This is what you've been missing out
Hemorrhoids
on.
are apparently involved.
Yeah, I'm not used to laughing this.
Little doses. You would have had little doses, but you've been gone for 3 weeks, so you're getting it all at once.
Yeah, it's just pent up.
Yes, juvenile.
Cipher?
Cipher. Yes.
And what you would have received, their defenses is like for hackers is largely like mental based. So it's not as much.
So not blood.
I mean, Cipher also described it as because like they definitely could attack with electric impulses and stuff like that, like pulses and things. So the description was when Cipher had got to the point where she was taking a lot of damage and she got the information she wanted, that she ripped the jack out of it.
Yes,
it was almost like
that's why there was blood.
it was like
she ripped
yeah,
it.
she was like she could tell she was really to the point where they get killed is if they pass out, because then, and if there's no one watching them, if the attack continues, the damage is now beyond unconscious into the lethal zone. So she got to the point where it was like almost, she was watching the bar and it's like, okay, it's done, and ripping it out, which is where she said the physical damage came from. Maybe, I think you also said there was a little bit of smouldering, so you gave the impression that the attack was reasonably strong.
Yep. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm.
But not that much blood.
She also knows some of them try to create a maze that you can't find your way out of. So you'll get hackers that are just, they're not...
So your consciousness is
stuck.
lost forever.
Yeah, which is what Chris sort of actually
did.
But without
did
knowing
that.
But yeah, there's some, they create like a maze, and then they get stuck in there and they can't find their way out. Even if you can jack them out, but if you jack them out, they're not...
Oh, that's right.
They're not back yet.
We need Cipher to make a guest appearance. Oh,
Yes.
I'm working.
Yes.
I'm working that day.
Oh, sorry, Chris.
Sorry,
Guess your
Chris.
consciousness is stuck forever.
Almost. So yeah, the blood came from the ripping out, not the actual attack.
Not hemorrhaging.
Okay.
Or hemorrhoiding.
Not hemorrhoids either.
That would be uncomfortable.
Okay.
But Cipher Cipher got the files. That was what Cipher did before nearly killing herself. So Cipher got that covered, and then I just went and found the physical thing. Okay.
Affirmative.
Excellent.
You sure she doesn't need a mechanic?
I think a doctor would be... wouldn't a doctor be able to tell us if she needs something else? Because they'd know how much of it was, like, biological damage?
Oh. I could try to find a cyborg doctor, I guess. I'm getting...
The Cipher puts her thumb up.
Yes to cyborg doctor, Cipher?
She's still got a thumb up.
Okay, well, I guess when we get back, we can ask Mr. Fennyman if there are any cyborg doctors that he knows.
Also, Terrence is driving. He can, see Cipher's forehead, and that's it.
Not the thumb. Wren can see the thumb. And she said yes to a cyborg doctor, so... The cat I don't have? Oh, his cat.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about me, and I was like,
my
what?
cat's down there.
Yes.
I looked
We
up
don't
right
know that. We can't see your cat.
So turning your head to the microphone.
now.
Alright, how far were we from Cornerstones?
We're there.
We're there! Hooray!
We're there now, because I don't think anything is happening.
I don't think anything's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if we get back to Cornerstones. I think we're all still wearing lab coats.
We are.
We are.
Though we're slightly dustier now.
And mine has a bit of blood on it from Cipher's head before I was told the bleeding's not that bad and stopped trying to put pressure on it.
Is the... What are they called again? Johnsons?
Mr. Johnson?
Joneses.
Mr. Johnson? Yeah?
Johnnies.
What do you...
The
people-
contractor people.
There wasn't really a Mr. Johnson because it was just somebody I know who, well, I don't know him anymore because I guess he's dead. My friend who died after sending us the thing about the job would technically be well, it was a phone call. He would technically, I guess, be the one who hired us, but he just left a phone number to call for when we were ready to do the dead drop, but I feel like we should get Cipher checked out before worrying about that.
Terrence gets out of the car and he's helping Cipher out.
Cypher's just got her left hand to her head. She looks up at Terrence, like the sun in her eyes, and there's so much confusion in there.
Okay, let's go find her a doctor or a computer expert or whatever. Yeah, we'll head inside. I don't know how Terry is. Is he just supporting Cipher or carrying her?
If she can walk, he's just gonna support her.
She's being fairly limp at the moment.
Okay, well then I'll take her other arm and put it over my shoulders or something. And I guess we just walk into Cornerstones? With Cipher in between, limply walking along.
Yeah, she's trying to use her legs, but not very effectively.
We're not just dragging her between us, are we?
Like, her legs are moving, but really awkwardly, and not really.
So yes.
Not really.
Okay, we're basically dragging.
Coordinated. Her legs are walking very uncoordinated at the moment.
So, for anyone in Cornerstones, 3 individuals in lab coats just suddenly burst in, one of whom is being dragged between the other 2. Alright, well, here we are.
It's quiet. No one's paying that much attention. The fairies a little bit. A couple sort of fly over and they're looking at you.
Hi, we need a doctor or something.
Okay.
And they zoom away.
I don't know if they will actually be able to get, I don't know what, someone else do something.
Terrence is looking around for Fennyman or Lambert.
You don't see them.
I mean, can we bring her to that... Remember one time when she got really hurt before, and then we just took her to a back room, and that doctor came and looked at her and she didn't like him? Can we just bring her there?
You mean Fennyman's office?
Was that where it was? I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
I think it was Fennyman's office.
Well, let's just go there then, maybe.
Fennyman might be in there. Let's
Cybernetic
go.
doctor.
What in the heck is a cybernetic doctor?
A doctor who is skilled with cybernetics.
Specifically.
Cybernetic doctor.
Jeez. Wow. My dyslexia really kicked in there.
What is a cybernetic doctor?
Doco-TR. Doco. Okay, let me edit that. Brain work correctly. Oh, there's no F on it. Okay.
Did I catch that before you changed it?
Cipher's a little bit delirious at the moment.
She's just just mumbling to herself about a doctor.
A doctor. Some doctor. A doctor. I need a doctor.
Yes, we will get you a doctor. Oh dear.
Doctorf.
What?
A doctorf.
Doctorf?
What's-
Or or a doctorf. Whichever.
What's that?
It's the other one that Adam typed.
Oh.
Cursed F.
Well, we'll find something. A doctor, a doctorf. I don't even know what at this point we need.
And Lambert comes in, he's wearing pajamas and a bathrobe, which says it's a big SpongeBob SquarePants one.
Terrence is just standing there kind of dumbfounded with Cipher hanging off of his one shoulder, and he's kind of crouched down so he's not lifting her off the ground, and he's like, SpongeBob? Your a house coat.
Oh yeah, it's really comfortable. You don't get many in my size.
Alright.
That's great. Cipher needs a doctor.
He like bends down. Do you need a doctor, Cipher?
Cipher looks at Lambert. She's got her eyes, and she's looking at him with that squinted sort of look again, and she nods.
She hacked into something and it fried her brain. Maybe.
And he walks over and picks up a black book and he's flicking through it. And he picks up the phone and he starts making a call. And he comes back in, he has a piece of paper, he hands it over, says, take it to this address.
Terrence starts trying to juggle his limbs and Cipher's to take this paper.
What's with the lab coats?
A job.
As technology.
What are you messing with them for?
It's the job.
Didn't Fenneman say they're exactly the kind of people you don't mess around with?
I don't remember, did he? He's right. I just don't remember if he said it.
It's a street doc. You'll see her now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lambert. We'll be back later.
You like bends down. Are you alright, girlie?
I'm confused.
He's being a big nerd.
It's fine. We're gonna take you to the doctor.
So, he's not operating on me. Whew.
We haven't even gotten there yet. How could we? What?
We've just been standing here. You're dangling between us like one of those old-fashioned wood toys where you squish the bottom and the person goes spinning and their feet go flying everywhere.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely no one is operating on you here, first of all.
The fairies are like shaking their heads.
We're just gonna go see the doctor and he will figure out what you need to do.
Cypher's looking at the fairies now and she mumbles something underneath her breath.
What's the doctor's name? Does it say on the paper that Lambert gave us?
Max Burton. MD.
Is this a name we've heard before?
Possibly.
Or someone new?
Possibly.
Well, I guess we'll find out. How far is it?
About 10 minutes, you think?
Okay, that's not too bad. Alright, we should go before... I don't know. She forgets everything.
We should take a cab.
Why?
Cipher's a little bit groggy. Less conspicuous.
Okay.
I think she just misses George.
If it'll make her feel better, why not? See if George is available.
Alright, can I get you two? And he kind of gently unhauls her onto you.
Yeah, Ren will support Cipher.
And Terrence will call up George.
Hello!
Hiya, George.
Is this like this is like 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah,
Isn't
George
it?
never sleeps, I guess. He's just always
He
on
never
call.
sleeps.
He's just always there.
Never once called George and had him not be chipper or not be awake.
Yeah,
He's a
always
vampire.
happy.
You've seen me.
Cipher.
She's seen me during the day.
She's seen me during the day. That didn't stop her.
To be fair, it's always cloudy.
It's been ages.
Anyway,
What do you need?
we need a ride to this address. Cipher went and got cyber attacked.
I'll be right there.
Thank you.
What did you get then? Yeah?
Cipher's just like mumbling little bits and pieces. You catch a couple of words here and there of it.
Okay, well, what do you want us to tell the doctor then that won't get you mad?
She looks up at Wren. Cyber attack. And she looks down
Okay.
sheepishly at the ground.
Thought so.
And a soul tear streaks down from her right eye.
Cipher! What's wrong?
Yeah, she shakes her head.
No is wrong.
Puts her left hand up. She goes, oh, fuck. That hurt.
Oh, dear. Oh, okay. Ride's here.
Let's go.
Let's. Yeah.
And Terrence will hold open the door.
And Wren will support Cipher out the door. And into the taxi.
Cipher slides onto the back seat and scooches up to the... hang on, which side does the car pull up? The taxi pull up? 'Cause you guys
We drive on the right side.
We drive on the
here.
right side.
Hang on. So is he on the other side of the road or is he on this side of the road? Facing left or facing right?
He'll be facing.
He'd be facing
Hang on.
our right.
Left. Left?
right.
He'd be facing our right. If we were looking at the car, it would be facing right.
Okay, on our side of the road.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yes!
That's just wrong. Anyway,
You should have seen him when we told him about bagged milk.
He has bagged milk. He's been shopping.
no. Why?
What's wrong with bagged milk?
That's wrong.
Firstly, he didn't believe us it was a real thing. He thought we were all tricking him.
I know, I'm aware of this. Cipher's also aware of this, and she
We're explaining this to Cipher in the taxi.
skittles over the other side.
Alright, well, Ren will get in the back seat as well, just after Cipher, who she helped get in the taxi.
Yep, and Cipher's sort of like curled up in the back corner of the taxi.
So he's driving through the city.
Yeah. Laser pointer.
Well, Cipher's not going to
Cypher-
be really doing that much.
Cipher, is there anything particular this doctor needs to know?
No.
Okay. Alright.
Just tell him I was poking my head in where I shouldn't have been poking. He'll know.
Okay. Sounds good.
She's tapping her on her cybernetic implant again, just making sure that there's no fresh blood.
Hey, don't mess with that.
And he pulls up outside a building. It's all brick
Okay.
and glass, and it looks more like what you'd sort of say would be a seedy tattoo parlor rather than a doctor.
Alright. Guess we're here. Ron will open the door and start trying to figure out how to get Cipher out of the back seat, I guess.
Terrence
Without, like,
will get
dragging her or something.
Terrence will get her and go around to the street side of the taxi, look around, make sure there's no oncoming traffic before, opening the door and perhaps catching Cipher as she falls out of the taxi. I don't know.
Well, she's not falling out, but you open up the door and she's like, sort of like startles a little bit, but she slides her legs over to the side and slowly gets out. Still sort of cradling her head.
Thanks, George.
Yeah, no problem. Do you need me to wait?
Cipher's nodding.
Yes?
Okay.
Not sure. If it'll take a while, I'll send you a message.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know. Okay.
Cipher's now shaking her head then.
What? I thought shaking your head hurt. Stop that.
No, she's shaking it slowly, like...
Very gingerly.
Gingerly,
Shaking
yes.
her head.
It's all ending.
It's all ending!
See, she's fine. Puns still hurt her.
I guess if she's able to be that dramatic, she might be okay. Well, let's go see what the doctor says.
We get her inside if the door isn't locked.
The door is not locked.
It's not locked? Okay. Guess we just walk in. Oh, we're still in lab coats, too.
And it is blue and white tiled floor. Looks like it's from the 1950s. There's two, they look more like dentist chairs, old ones, than anything medical.
Great.
And the one on the far side, there's no one in it, but there's a bunch of bloody rags around it. And there is one off to the other side which has no one in it.
And no bloody rags?
There's no bloody rags. The cushions on it, or the padding, is torn.
Should we put her on the clean chair, do you think?
Are there waiting chairs
There is not.
that don't involve? Of course not. Yeah, the not bloody chair seems like the best option.
Yeah.
You don't think this is the lair of a angry tooth fairy, do you?
I don't think Lambert would have sent us here if it was, right?
Lambert's teeth just grow back. I'm not entirely sure he appreciates that ours don't.
Yeah, but if we say Cipher needs help with her brain or whatever, he's not going to go, to the tooth fairy you go.
He would if the tooth fairy had any kind of talent with that kind of thing.
I guess
I'm more concerned about the payment this person's gonna ask for. Stop looking excited, Aaron. You're scaring me.
if it's money, then we're good at the moment.
Yeah, but if it's a demented tooth fairy, it'll be teeth.
Okay,
What
well,
then?
fine. I don't know. I could spare a tooth or something. Has anyone noticed us all talking in this lobby thing, or?
Yeah, a guy comes in. He looks human. He's wearing a waistcoat and a tie, and a bloody it's not a lab coat. It's like a doctor's sort of coat. And he goes over to the sink and he's washing blood off his hands. He doesn't look at you. He's got like the spectacles that are half. They're not the full ones. There's one that you can peer down. And he's washing his hands. You're the ones from Cornerstones? Lambert sent you?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Put the patient on the chair, please.
The patient is on the chair.
Yep.
He looks around. Good. He goes over. There's like a piece of apparatus about so big. And he takes out a pen light, starts shining it in Cipher's eyes, seeing if they're going to dilate.
She backs away a little bit from this.
Terrence just looks deeply concerned.
Yeah.
And he puts the light away and he takes this. It's a cord, it's a jack, and pushes it into the side of Cipher's head. And as it goes in, Cipher can feel it also, like, it doesn't just click, it also, like, snaps inside. And
she yelps. There's a little bit of pain.
Hey!
And he turns it on, and he's watching. It's like a mental ECG reader, in a way.
Is Cipher on a chair or is she on a...
It's like a dentist.
She's on like a dentist chair.
Like a 1950s dentist chair.
Oh, okay. This isn't
So
freaking her out.
somewhere between...
She's like mumbling something about an asteroid belt.
Yep.
And she's now
Still
looking
needs
up,
to wash his hands.
looking up Star Trek on Bing. Bing!
And it showed Star Wars.
Of course.
What are you doing? Not you, Cipher. The doctor.
I am checking her implants.
Okay.
Pushes it aside and then pulls over another tray that's on wheels. Pulls down a big magnifying glass and aims it at the side of her head where her implant is. And starts working.
She reaches up and pulls him down by the scruff of the neck. Can she do that? Without... Okay. And whispers something to his ear. Into his ear.
To his ear.
To his ear. La 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 la.
And he leans back when she finally lets go of him. Are you sure?
Is she requesting something horrible?
She nods.
She is requesting something horrible. She's probably requesting more implants or to become more of a cyborg. Something. Don't do any weird sleep stuff to her.
Don't.
It's a bad idea.
She wants to, like, curse herself to sleep. She don't do anything like that.
Right.
Look, whatever weird stuff she's saying she wants, she's in no fit condition.
She's like, obviously getting agitated, but she's like, can you used to just yeah. I'll be fine.
Stop.
Come
Really?
back later.
No.
She looks up at the doctor. Do it.
I'll have to put you under.
She requested no dreams, didn't she?
No. I'll have to put you under.
No.
She takes a deep breath. She nods.
All right.
Before we go,
I'm not going. I don't know what she's doing, but I'm not going.
how are we paying for this?
Well, Lambert said he would cover it. However, I will have to call him now. And he walks over to the other side of the room and he starts arranging different tools and implements than the ones he was going to use. And he takes out a phone and he puts it under his shoulder. The tools look more invasive. More like a Dremel and a small power saw and stuff like that.
Is she gonna like get removed
as long as there's no
or
router.
something?
No, you don't need an implement to connect to the web.
All right. What's he saying on the phone? Can we hear?
No. He's being quiet.
Rude.
But I did answer Becca.
Terrence is off to the side and he's on his phone. And he looks confused, and then he looks up at Cipher and he's like, "Really, girly?"
She looks at
Lambert told
Terrence. Yeah, well, she's looking at Terrence. Yeah.
What's she trying to do?
me. Not anything I would have guessed by myself. She wants to get her implant out.
Oh.
She's got a defiant.
I just
look on her
asked if
face.
she was gonna do that.
You guessed again.
Sorry. Why?
She looks back at Wren. What? She looks over at the doctor. Is there no such thing as patient-doctor confidentiality?
Hey, Terry didn't hear from the doctor. He heard from Lambert.
I had to tell Mr. Lambert what you wanted so that he would agree to the payment.
Oh, if it's a issue of payment, I could have paid you.
Well, he's willing to cover it if this is what you really want to do.
It is.
Removing it is difficult. The implant is connected to your brain.
Aye.
There can be certain risks.
Aye.
And once it's removed, we cannot put them back.
Aye. She's starting to look a little bit irritated at this stage.
Are you sure you're not gonna wish you hadn't later?
It's got to come out.
Why?
I'll explain later.
Oh,
Just get this thing off
okay.
my head.
All right.
Maybe you should.
And he wheels over what looks like a big oxygen tank. And he puts it over Cipher's nose and mouth.
And I hope I'm wrong about why.
And turns it on. Says, breathe deeply.
Oh, she's breathing deeply. As soon as it's on,
Oh, she's breathing.
she's going for it. She's sucking as much down as she can.
And he gets a...
You're gonna have a weird hangover in a couple hours, girly.
She's already like
Oh,
unconscious.
she's unconscious.
Well, she's fading.
She doesn't have to respond.
And he gets a needle of something and sticks it in her arm.
Terrence is gonna sit on the floor and lean against the wall.
Wren's gonna do the same thing, but she's gonna put her head on her knees and wrap her arms around them and just kind of do that.
And he waits a few minutes till she seems to be out properly, and then he takes the mask off her and then wheels over the other tray of implements and starts working. And it's a definitely a difficult procedure, and he's having to work from the inside out. So he's got this huge magnifying glass that's been usually like pulled down and shining this massive light in. And she'd groan every now and again and twitch because he's severing connections between the implant to the brain. Then eventually pulls it out about 6 inches, and there's a cord that's attached to it, and takes the power saw and cuts the cord. And then starts reconnecting the severed wires that were within. And it definitely smells of like when you burn, if you're soldering and you burn the plastic coating on the that cover some of the wires, mixed with also every now and again like burnt flesh and burnt like vaporized blood and stuff like that.
And hair.
I was gonna say hair, if it's right.
Yep.
Which smells terrible. As someone who's lit their hair on fire.
Yeah, I've done that too.
And then finally...
And how long does the whole thing take?
It takes about 4 hours. And he finally, with a really, seems like a really fine sort of piece, is working down the side of the wire, and eventually he's able to pull out the cable out of her head completely, and it's covered in blood. And he drops that into the sink, and then takes this big screw looking thing and puts it on the side of her head and into the hole where the implant used to be, and then there's like a cap that's flesh coloured and clips it on, but you can still see the round, and he's like, it's done.
Terrence peels himself off the floor. Like, he wasn't as tense as Wren was the whole time, but he didn't like really rest either. He was just kind of being watchful, wary.
Both. Why not?
I shouldn't have to say this, but she's going to need to recover at least 2 weeks.
What does that entail?
Not doing anything strenuous, not doing anything dangerous, not running around, not jumping, not doing anything that would be elevated stress levels. We have removed elements that's connected to her brain. Brain damage is a very real risk.
She can skip through traffic with a heart rate of 67. Does that count as strenuous?
If she gets hit by a car?
It hasn't happened yet that I know of.
And after 2 weeks?
Well, she might not be her old self 100%, but it's going to take time. She's going to be fine. But these cybernetic implants connect directly to their brain. That's how they are able to do what they do.
What do you mean back to her normal self? Is she going to be different?
She shouldn't be.
Did she say anything about what she wanted you to do with the implant?
Only take it out.
Okay.
It was repairable.
I think it maybe didn't matter at this point.
But I cannot stress enough, do not let her do anything physical.
Oh, we can try.
There is always a level of damage that happens with removing these things, same as when they're first put in. You cannot connect wires into people's brains without some form of damage. You cannot take them out without some form of damage. She is fine, but she needs to heal. But if she does anything stupid, like a Shadowrun, I cannot guarantee what will happen.
She won't.
She could have a stroke, she could have an embolism, bleeding on the brain, all sorts of wonderful, fun things. She can walk around, she can do anything normal, but no strenuous activity.
Okay.
Alright. I would ask for that in writing, but she won't read the entire thing anyway, just like the first 2 lines, maybe, if we're lucky.
Then shorten it to don't do anything stupid.
I mean, everyone tells her.
Listens to that advice.
So she'll read "Don't stupid."
Don't
stupid. Okay, what about just don't?
That's a good message, though. Don't stupid, Cipher.
Do not stupid. Wren's still sitting on the floor.
He hands up an envelope. Who wants the bill?
I thought that was going directly to Lambert.
Aren't you?
Yeah, I suppose.
Or should you take Cipher back to your house?
He's gonna look at it.
It says Cybernetic Medical Services.
Cybernetic Doctors.
Doctors. Docker turfs.
Yes, it's canon.
They're like, yes, there was a typo when we made the sign and we didn't want to pay to replace it, so that's what we are. Dockerturfs.
Docker-turf.
It's gonna be a scary number, isn't it? Terrence is frightened. Here's a piece of paper I can use. He's got the ability slick.
How much, Terry?
He's like non-verbal at all. He's making
Can I
horrified
see?
creaking noises. And he covers his mouth and he kind of dramatically hands you the paper and his hand's shaking a little bit and he's covering his mouth with his hand.
Alright, Wren will read it. Oh. Okay, well, that's bad, but the way you were acting, I thought it was, like, bad. Yeah. Do we want to go back to Cornerstones, or should you take her back to your house?
I have to give that to Lambert.
I can take it if you want.
Okay. I have to go back to Cornerstones to pick up a car anyway.
Oh, true. Okay, never mind.
Terrence is just shaking his head. Jeez. She gonna have a headache?
Oh yeah, we worked on her brain.
Are painkillers okay or no?
And he hands over a jar. And he's like,
Great.
Don't let her overdo this. They are addictive.
Oh, great.
A new vice for Cipher.
Regular painkillers work, like Advil?
Over time,
Or Tylenol?
as time goes on, they will.
Okay. So basically, only, crush this into her food when she's not looking so she has no idea what's going on, because otherwise she will become addicted.
1 week. After the week, start using regular ones.
How many a day?
As needed.
Okay.
Normally, the need will be...
Not 10.
I think there's 10 in the bottle.
They will request more than you should give them. The first couple of days will be the most difficult.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything else?
No, if she starts acting erratic, as in if whatever is unnormal for her,
Oh, so if she's not erratic.
then seek medical help.
Yes.
All right.
As it stands, the operation was fine. But there's always a risk.
Okay. We should go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't let me keep you.
No, Terrence is just he's gone up to the side of the chair and he's kind of lifting his arms and then like hesitating and like readjusting how he's gonna try and pick Cipher up, and he kind of pauses and he looks over at the doctor and he's like, what's the best way to do this?
And he kicks a old wheelchair that rolls over. And he's like, she's fine. She doesn't have a neck injury. Just don't hit her head.
Just don't let Adam roll a disadvantage. Alright, how's Terry gonna maneuver Cipher out of this place?
Terrence is gonna call George first and ask him to come back, because at this point it's been like 4.5, 5 hours since they got there. And Terrence told George he didn't have to wait for that long. And then he'll just pick Cipher up as gently as he can and put her in the wheelchair. And wheel her out the front of this sketchy, used to be a tattoo parlor garage looking shady medical place that may or may not belong to a deranged tooth fairy.
That's what it says on the sign.
May or may not belong to a deranged tooth fairy. Doctor's associate.
Oh Jesus, she's coming too.
It does look faded.
There
is a faded, like the stuff over it is. This says dentist, like below. This faded from an old sign.
Cipher's still out of it, I'm assuming.
Probably. So I guess we'll just put her in a taxi.
I'm assuming Cipher's gotten home okay.
Well, no, we were headed to Cornerstones. How's she gotten home?
Oh, when are you taking her home?
Well, we have to get... We have to go back to Cornerstones to pick up Terry's car and give the bill to Lambert.
Oh, okay.
So unless Cipher's learned to teleport while unconscious, she's not gotten home.
Let me check.
Is that on the character sheet?
Not at
Need
this stage.
17 reds and at least 100 blacks for that roll.
Utterly fails, but you got to triumph.
Still got a triumph out of it.
Your triumph is that you didn't die.
Yeah. Alright, well, we'll put her in George's taxi, not a random
Okay.
one.
And he safely gets you to Cornerstones.
That's nice of him.
Thank you, George.
Not a problem.
Thanks.
There is something that I just realised.
It could be a bit late now.
I'll talk to you later about that.
Alright, so you gotta give Lambert the bill.
Cipher's just going to be all sleepy and shit. And she's going to have 10 tablets a day.
No, she doesn't know they exist. As far as she knows, there's nothing.
Oh my god, you're going to keep them all to yourself.
No, Terry said
You
he was
can't-
gonna mix them in with her food so she wouldn't know she was having them.
Oh, drug her food. It's just like a cat. It's a crush up the tablet into her food.
Yeah.
This smells kind of funny.
It's fine,
What's this?
Cypher's fine.
What's this white pasty powder over the top of it?
Salt.
Salt that tastes really like ground up.
It's MSG.
Talcum powder.
Oh, is that what that was? I thought it was salt. I'm sure it's fine.
Just eat it.
Well, I guess we get back and... What do we do with Cipher? Leave her in the taxi or switch her to the Impala?
Well, I took the wheelchair with us. And he's
Oh.
like wrestling it out of the trunk of the George's
great.
taxi.
I guess I wasn't paying attention.
And he sets her up in it. He's like, well, let's go talk to Lambert for a
Okay.
little bit. Not entirely sure. But seriously, at this point, I feel like Mr. Fennyman and Lambert are dropping a lot of money for us, like more than we're making for them, and I feel bad.
Yeah.
And Terrence goes inside with the wheelchair.
Yep, Ren will follow.
And it's quiet. There's only a couple of the regulars sitting there. Lambert's still in his pajamas and SpongeBob coat. It's a big SpongeBob on the back.
Alright, well, wherever Terry is wheeling Cipher, Run will just tag along.
Just going to go say hi to Lambert for a bit before heading back to the house. Sorry.
And he comes over and he checks her out. Doesn't touch her, he just looks at her. Alright, what are you going to do now? Then he looks at her.
Try to keep her out of trouble for 2 weeks.
Fair enough. You taking her home?
Yeah. Gotta get her settled. Find somewhere to hide her super pills so that I can put them in her food later.
Like a dog?
No. Like
Like a Cipher.
like someone who already has addiction problems and you're worried about them.
Do you want us to pay you back?
No. You got the bill?
Yeah. Terry has it.
No, he doesn't. You never gave it
Oh,
back.
that's true. Never mind. I have it. Run will pull it out of her pocket and hand it over.
He takes it and there's a black book. He lifts it up and he just drops it in there and closes it.
Pretty sure
Cypher's
that's
tab.
Lambert's black book. Oh god. Oh no. They have a leather-bound book specifically for Cypher's tab.
Yep. How else do you think they track her comings and goings? It's like the book is 2 inches thick.
Oh no.
You noted it was leather bound too.
Yep. Yep. I mean, if Terry's gonna take Cipher back to their house and doesn't need any help, then Wren will leave and go somewhere. And if nobody contacts her, they're not really gonna hear from her.
Although you still have the dead drop to do.
Yes, but Well, they can't do that till Cipher wakes up because she has the files.
Oh, does she, or are they in her implant?
I don't know, but I've only got the biosample.
Okay, when Cipher wakes up and after... Okay. Am I gonna have to roll to trick her into eating food that's drugged?
Or will she just eat whatever she's given?
Depends on, if you're putting it in soup, it's going to be pretty hard to detect, realistically. But if you're sprinkling over the top of...
Well, no, you wouldn't put it on top of something. No.
Bacon?
Here, Cipher, have your medicated bacon.
He just makes
your prescription
bread and
bacon
cheese roll like you do for dogs. Jeez. Oh my goodness. No, he would have made soup for her because he's a nice person.
Here's some odd powdery bacon, Cipher.
I know you're not feeling well, but I thought you would like some salt and arsenic.
Powdered eggs and bacon.
Oh,
That's
God.
what they usually serve in hospitals.
Tasty.
Yeah, I thought I'd replicate hospital food at home, so that's why everything's slightly chalky. So will Cipher eat things?
Will she eat the soup?
Yeah, she'll eat the soup. It's just, now she's addicted to chicken soup.
Yes, finally she'll eat stuff.
She's addicted to chicken soup.
Well, for some strange reason, this chicken soup makes me feel a little bit better. But she's complaining about not long after she wakes up. She's like, "Oh my god, my head's just." I need some codeine tablets.
Well, have some of this soup first, and I'll see what I can do for you.
Are you taking her downstairs or upstairs to her bedroom where you've made this?
Where I've put the mattress.
Or there's the
mattress.
actual bed, yes, and not beanbag chairs.
He's taken her up to the actual bed.
He's not just gonna lay her down on a beanbag chair and be like, great.
Don't fall over and knock your head. All right. Yep. Well, no, she'll eat the soup, obviously. Yeah, especially after she wakes up, she's feeling a bit hungry. But she's definitely complaining about headaches until about an hour after the soup.
Damn, codeine takes that long to hit her? Jeez.
Maybe she's built up an immunity. I don't know.
Oh no. Shit.
It's going to have to take 2 bowls of soup.
Yeah, she's hungry and she's like, I want some more soup. And Terry's like, no, you can't have any more soup for 6 hours.
Specifically 6 hours. Specifically 6 hours.
Yes.
What kind of soup are you making? And
She's not mixing the medication directly into the pot. It's just per bowl now.
She's like eyeballing the soup, wondering what's in it.
Yeah, the whole bottle's just mixed into one big pot of soup.
Oh my god.
Terry's like, she'll never find them if they're all in the soup.
Oh my gosh. Alright, hey Cipher, since you're up and feeling a little bit better, are the files in your implant? Is that why you wanted it removed?
It's just... Where's the implant?
It's in this bag, and he holds up like a small black plastic bag.
She holds her hand out.
He passes it to her.
Is the bag sealed?
No. Well, it's kind of like tied at the top, but like sealed is a strong word.
It's a plastic bag, though.
Yeah.
Okay. She opens it up. Is it really in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I might have been away for that part where you guys put the implant in a bag.
Okay.
I'll write that down. She pulls the implant out. She looks at it. It's all covered. It's got sort of matted, bloodied hair on it, and dried blood, and a bit of probably skin, bits of skin around the edge. Well, she sort of twists it and pulls off a part, and underneath there's chips and all that sort of stuff, and electronics, and she's like, yeah, it's on this little storage device right down in there. SD
card?
I'm just wondering who are you sending the message to?
It might be me.
I just saw a finger pointing as I could have been to anyone on the screen.
That was, yes. Who is it to? You. Me.
She's like, got her fingernails in, and she's trying to pull this thing apart. It's not pulling apart.
Are you demonstrating with a television remote?
Oops. Yep. Oh, is that a reset button? Oops. Don't press the reset button.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Good thing it's not plugged into a power source, right?
What do you mean? It's got its own built-in power source.
I thought it just took your body's electric signals to function.
It's been damaged somewhat, but it should be still okay. And she's looking at it. She's turning it over in her hands. I'm going to need me tools to get this drive out.
All right.
The rest of it's got to be destroyed.
Thought so.
Alright. Terrence will run downstairs and grab a bag that looks like it's full of computer tools, and then run back upstairs and plonk it down on the floor in front of Cipher, where she's probably relocated herself. Unless she stayed on the bed for some, insane reason. I can't imagine it happening.
She's still on the bed, sitting up, I guess, but do I always have to be on the floor? I mean, just because I'm sitting on the bed just for 10 minutes, you're only gone for 15, if that.
Terrence is standing there blinking at her. He's like, I was gone for 2 minutes.
Huh? No.
Calling
15.
Lambert. He's like, Lambert, who do I call? She's going insane. The brain damage is bad.
Are you serious?
I legitimately don't know. She's staying on her bed, and she thinks I was gone for 15 minutes when I just ran downstairs for 2 minutes.
She's pulled out a couple of screwdrivers and pliers out of the tool case, and she's working on the implant.
She might be okay. She's gone back to ignoring me.
The Cipher was always a little erratic.
Yeah, but she was very erratic in a predictable manner.
You know, I am here in the room. I can hear you both. You should probably take him off speakerphone if you're going to be talking about me. Jeez.
Damn it, I did not have him on speakerphone, but I guess that's canon now.
So she pulls out what looks to be like a little... it sort of looks like an SD card, but it's not. Because it's got 32 pins all the way around it.
Terrence would not have counted the pins.
Yes, she's holding it up. It's a 32 pin sim.
Okay.
Alright, it's on here.
So, how do we destroy the rest of it? Do you want me to fill the tub, or... He looks confused.
I think... maybe like a welder?
Do we have one of those?
Or an oxy torch? Oxyacetylene. You need to melt this little bugger.
I could just melt it with magic.
If that would work.
Take the pieces that Cipher said needed to be melted out into the backyard.
Terrence leaves the room. So she's got a toolkit. She watches as Terrence goes out and goes down the stairs. She can hear him going out. She looks down at the toolkit. She picks up she's looking around. She's rubbing her forehead. She's looking at the toolkit. She's wondering what she needs from it. And then her phone sort of like buzzes a little bit. She picks it up. It's just a battery notification. So she looks around, looks down at the toolkit. She starts feeling a little bit sullen, so she reaches down, picks out... did she end up taking the toolkit downstairs? I don't think she did. So she looks at a Stanley knife that's in there. She sort of reaches down to grab it amongst the tools, and she thinks twice about it. She picks up a small screwdriver, and she slowly gets out of bed. She swings her feet over the side, and she's feeling a little bit wonky, but she manages to stand up and stabilizes herself. She stands up and steadies herself, and she walks down the stairs, gets to the stairs. So she knows Terrence is going to be a little while. And she sees the two kittens rolling around playing with each other in the lounge room, so she heads around there and she kneels before them. Slowly, she sort of like sits down, and she's just, her shoulders slump down. She looks down at the kittens playing, and she just starts sobbing uncontrollably for not long. She takes a deep breath, sniffles, wipes the tears away from her eyes, sort of scrunches up her hair a little bit, and takes the screwdriver in her left arm and scratches down her right arm. It's a little bit of blood. It looks like a scratch. She takes another breath, stretches her arms out, and starts playing with the with Wren and PK. As she's like looking at them while she's playing, she's not really playing with them. She's just sort of like holding them, looking at them, like it could be the last time that she's that she'll ever see them again. She's feeling very convoluted, and has got a lot of mixed feelings going on at the moment. She puts them down, looks up. Terrence is still outside. She's taken him a while. Picks up her phone, unlocks it, starts typing a message to Wren. "It's not your fault. this thing was going to be an eventuality anyway, so, you know, I don't want you to feel bad about everything that's happened because... And then she reads it back and she deletes the message and starts again. Hey, Wren, it's not your fault. Well, don't think it's your fault. You sort of left and really didn't say anything. I thought you might have been a little bit sad about what went... No, she deletes everything. Starts again. Hey, Wren, how's it going? I just wanted to let you know that, you know, it's not a big deal that I lost my implant. These things happen. She looks at the phone again. Deletes everything. Hey, Dan. Good news. I feel good about leaving the implant because... No, she deletes that again. Hey, Dan. I really don't know what I'm doing. I can't cope with it all. So, I don't want you to feel bad. She holds down the delete key and deletes everything. She looks at her phone. She's just staring blankly. She hears the back door open. She switches the phone off, puts it in the pocket, and picks up the two kittens, and throws a smile on her face, and throws them up in the air and lets out a bit of a yelp.
And he's gonna get a flat piece of what is probably leftover concrete slab from when they were building the house, something. And he's gonna put he's gonna put this stuff on it. He'll draw his chalk circle around it, and then he will
Fire!
He's gonna do the magic.
Magic fire! Success and advantage!
I mean...
It could be worse.
It could be worse, but it should have been better.
Could be worse.
He melts it, and it melts into this puddle that kind of adheres itself to the stone thing. And he kind of looks at it like he's like, should I move that into the... No, it's fine. It can stay there. And he goes back in the house.
And Cipher's in the lounge room. You can hear a squeal. She's laying on the floor. She's got two arms up in the air, and she's got a kitten each hand.
Oh, God. Terrence ran to go check on her. Now he's just looking at her like she's insane.
I don't know what you put in that soup, but it makes me feel a bit better.
I'm glad. Just don't overdo it, okay? You're supposed to be taking it easy so you don't cause yourself further brain damage.
Die, kitty, die.
They will attack you. If you torture them too much, they will attack you eventually, and they'll get bigger.
And she
They
turns
won't be
her
kittens forever.
arm around. There's like a long scratch down about an inch down one of her arms, down her right arm.
He's just shaking his head.
As she looks at Terrence up from the floor, and so when are we doing the dead drop? I'm good to go.
Yeah, Doc specifically said no Shadowruns until you're better.
Well, what? Well,
Word for
technically,
word.
It's not a Shadowrun. We're just doing a drop-off. That's not related, is it?
Last couple times we did drop-offs were a bit dangerous, so no.
No, it's not a Shadowrun. Oh no, we're not doing it.
No, we're not doing it. Not until your 2 weeks are up and you've still got, like, 10 days.
Tenants, you cannot handle... You cannot... I've forgotten the words. She's put her head in her hand. She's rubbing. She closes her eyes. You can't hold on to that information for 2 weeks.
Why?
Because they're going to want it back.
And us giving it to someone else is going to stop them from coming after us because...
Well, if they come after us and they find us with it, it's a no-brainer. Get rid of it.
That's fair. But if they come after us and they find us without it, I seriously doubt they'll let us live anyway.
I think I've managed to cover my tracks enough, but... Well, we got rid of the first part of the evidence, so... they know I was in there, right? Okay. So... The problem was that bit of technology that I had inside my head. Every chip, or should I say, let me put this in like layman's terms, anything that's connected to the internet has address. Not address. Oh, it's not address. It's a it's an address. Like each house has an address, which is traceable. You can use software to pretend that this address is different to another address, but at the end of the day, those things only mask that information. It actually has a particular hardware address, and I'd rather a cybernetic doctor remove it than having it ripped out of me head, quite literally. She smiles at Terence. Because the latter one would have been not as pleasant.
Yeah, that's fair. Wren and I can drop it off, because you really need rest. You did the heavy lifting on this one. We could go drop it at the place. I can't remember anything about this job.
The dead drop was at a port. An empty cargo container. She rolls over onto her side. She's got pumpkin killer underneath her hand, patting the kitten. The kitten looks a little bit distressed, and Wren's managed to break away and run off.
Yes.
And she's looking at Pumpkin Killer. So what was the damage? Tenants.
The damage for what?
Terry, the damage for my implant.
Oh. That was 15k.
Oh, okay. Alright. Should be able to fix Fannyman up for that. Yeah, that's actually better than I thought, to be honest.
Lambert. Who paid?
Oh,
as
what?
far
Lambert?
as I'm aware.
Well,
Yep.
Lambert's not supposed to pay for... He complicates things. Why? Where's Fannyman? If Lambert paid for it. What the?
It's not in your house.
Is something wrong with Fanny?
I didn't hear anything. Lambert didn't say anything, though that doesn't necessarily mean anything either.
And she sits up sharply, sways a little bit. Whoa, that was a wee bit too fast. I mean fast. Like
Fast.
As in
Fast.
Shadowrun, a slice of life adventure in a dystopian future, starring Becca as Terry the Mage, RavenInsane as Cipher the Hacker, Emily as Wren the Thief, and Ghost as the GM. The excellent Shadowrun is produced by Catalyst Game Labs. The Genesys rule set comes from Fantasy Flight Games, and many of the sounds and music comes from Sirenscape, which is an amazing tool for bringing more life to your game table. This has been a Kritfayle production.
Smell my bum.
Without the visual context of the cat, that is going to be very odd in a recording.
I didn't think of that.
She's delirious. Never mind her.
You know I'm going to edit out the context, right?
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Cipher, what the hell?
She's really out of it.
And it's humming away.
The machine that goes bing. Oh, no, it's humming.
It's not going bing.
Nobody likes Bing.
Darn it, now they'll never sponsor us.
Yeah, but it'd be fun to watch Becca have to speak positively about Bing, wouldn't it?
Okay, dear.
And today we'd like to thank our sponsors, Bing.
Truly a company that has paid us.
Truly a company.
Truly
it
a company
exists.
that exists on the
It has a search
internet.
engine.
And if you look for us on there, you won't find us.
They definitely provide a service that you can use if you wish.
It's just not the service you search for.
They're not that big. They like fit in your hands.
I thought they're like these little tiny
No! They're not that little.
things you could put in your mouth.
Why would you?
When in Rome.
When in Rome, put small rodents in your mouth. That's not any saying I've ever heard. Aaron's like, what?
Aaron's come back to something.
I'm having a Becca moment.
Hey, if you leave and come back, you have to expect something.
That this conversation is going to go sideways at some point.